You're 80 years old. You've worked your entire life. You've bought property, a home. And when you decide to return to it in your retirement, you find your own son has taken it over, locked you out, and just refuses to let you in. I mean, it's a heartbreaking scenario. And it was the reality for Kamalakant Mishra in Mumbai.
Okay.
Let's unpack this, because this deep dive is all about how the law, specifically an act from 2007, provided a way out of this nightmare without a long, drawn-out court battle.
Exactly. The law is the Maintenance and Welfare of Senior Citizens Act, or the MWSC Act. And Mr. Mishra filed an application under it on July 12, 2023. He asked for two things. Some maintenance money, but more importantly, the eviction of his son.
And the whole point of this act is speed, right, to avoid the usual delays.
Precisely. It's designed to bypass a typical civil suit, which can, take years, even a decade. For an elderly person, that's just not a viable path to justice.
And at first, it seemed to work perfectly. The Maintenance Tribunal said, yes, the father is right, and ordered the eviction. The next level up, the Appellate Tribunal, agreed.
They both upheld the decision. But then the son took it to the Bombay High Court. And this is where a really colossal error was made.
What happened?
The High Court looked at the calendar. Because the case had been going on for a while, the son, who was born in 1964, had actually had his 60th birthday while the appeals were pending.
So he became a senior citizen himself during the case.
Exactly. And the court basically reasoned that, the act says you can't evict another senior citizen, so he was now immune. They completely set aside the eviction order.
Wait. So you're saying he was rewarded for dragging the process out? That he got to use the system's own delay to his advantage? That just feels fundamentally wrong.
It's a massive loophole, and that's exactly the question that went before the Supreme Court. Can a person benefit from legal delays to, age into immunity?
Here's where it gets really interesting.
It is. The Supreme Court Justices Vikram Nath and Samdeep Mehta, they looked at the High Court's view and just flatly called it erroneous.
So how did they fix it?
They used something called the Doctrine of Relevant Date. And it's actually very simple. They said the legal rights and the status of a person, in this case, the son's age, have to be determined on the day the case was first filed.
So July 12, 2023.
July 12, 2023. On that date, the son was 59. He was not a senior citizen. The court made it clear that you can't just get a free pass because the paperwork took too long.
Okay, so that settles the age issue. But that still leaves a pretty big question on the table. Does this tribunal even have the power to order an eviction? I thought it was about maintenance, like monthly payments.
Yeah, that's a common misconception. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the Supreme Court has already addressed this. There's a landmark case from 2021 as Vanitha v. the Deputy Commissioner.
And what did that case say?
It confirmed that the MWSC Act is what's called a welfare legislation. It has to be interpreted liberally.
Liberally meaning?
Meaning maintenance isn't just about a check in the mail. It's about ensuring a senior citizen can live with security and dignity. It includes the right to a peaceful residence. If a child's presence is destroying that peace, then removing them is a form of maintenance.
So eviction is a tool to ensure their well-being.
It's a necessary tool. The tribunal is absolutely within its power to order an eviction to protect the parent.
So the final verdict was clear. The Supreme Court allowed the father's appeal, threw out the High Court's order, and put the original eviction order back in place.
That's right. They did grant the son time to vacate until late 2025, but only if he provided a formal guarantee to the court.
So what does this all mean? For you, the listener, the takeaway is huge. It confirms that parents have powerful rights over their own property. This act provides a fast, effective way to enforce them. The court has closed a dangerous loophole.
And this raises an important question for the future. The court stressed that technicalities shouldn't defeat the purpose of a welfare law. So, should this relevant date principle be applied to all welfare laws to protect them against procedural delays?
That's a fascinating thought.
It is. I mean, how do we make sure justice isn't just about winning, but about winning in time? It's a balance the system is always trying to find.